Okay, so I got home really late Monday. Basically spent all of Tuesday sleeping. And today is Wednesday. And I'm at the house to check out the south yard that Francis says needs some love. And holy moly, he was not kidding. So yeah, 3 weeks, and apparently they got a lot of rain, and the weeds are hot and heavy. Holy moly. So I'm here. I'm gonna see what I can do. We do have some pretty stuff. I mean, that's like some sunflower. But yeah, I think a lot of this honestly needs the weed whacker. So Francis might work on that this weekend. I need to order more of these because we're going to continue along this side with this like more decorative PK, and then this side over here is going to be for the chickens. So we kind of started staking out the fence, but yeah. So yeah, lots of work. Down here, he mentioned that we actually have figs on the little tree, and he is absolutely correct. We do have some little figs, so that's cool. I was not expecting figs. And yeah, he hacked down this, left the stuff over there, so I'll have to see what's going on there. And yeah, our beautiful mimosa tree is bloomed and looking very pretty, so that's cool. And yeah, the surrounding cornfields have gotten quite toll in my absence. So we're about to lose our view because we're both short. So as the corn grows, the view goes away. But yeah, tons and tons of cornfields. All of that's corn over there too. So, yep. Anyway, that's what I came home to. So I guess I better start weeding. Okay, so before I go too far, after some discussion, Francis and I agreed that basically we want to keep this path and everything clear. So even though we love blackberries, there's tons of them. So my first job is basically going to go all the way along the fence and just hack everything back to the fence. He is going to be weed whacking this weekend, and we are going to relocate this little wood pile because that's just become very well, it's become impossible to maintain. And yeah, there's also some weeding that needs to happen in the beds, just because there's a lot of little things growing in there that shouldn't. And yeah, we'll just kind of take it a little bit at a time and try to get this back to something reasonable. There's a big ol' honeybee in the zucchinis. Or no, not a honeybee. It's a big old bee doing his pollinating business. We do still have a nice view from the bench. Sorry for the noise. Mr. Francis is out weed whacking the yard, which very much needed to be weed whacked. Meanwhile, in the house, nothing much is going on. Bathroom's on hiatus, toilet room's on hiatus. Our bedroom is in progress. The electrician's gone ahead and added some more cabling so that we can have 2 lights in a closet, pulled some cabling here, as well as started to route cabling for the rest of the house. This is all open, one, because we're gonna bring the air conditioner from the other side of the wall to this side. There was also a leak there that caused all the damage here, which needs to be repaired. And yeah, that's that. But it's kind of cool because you can see how these old houses were constructed. So that is, yeah, clay bricks that end up having like plaster put on top of it, and then eventually they have this like other type of plaster, and it all starts with clay bricks. In the rest of the house, not much is going on. I was kind of hoping to be able to show you some kitchen work, but that's still happening. Electricians brought some cabling into the dining room back there. This is the kitchen. It has been primed. There is a ceiling. Voila! And it is ready for cabinets. We have our sub panel and connector boxes. We need to have the tile guy come out and finish the tile, but the kitchen person did come and do final measurements, so hopefully that will actually be started. Utility room also has a ceiling, but obviously still needs to be primed. And yeah, the connector box is done up in that corner. And plumbing's done, so for the most part, pretty much once this gets primed, that's really all that's gonna happen. We might put a baseboard in this room, but it's a utility room, so it doesn't need to look fancy. So this is where the kitchen's going to be. We are going to have the fridge here, lower cabinets, the cooking's gonna be there, sink, dishwasher in that area. And then over here, we will also have cabinets along the bottom and some cabinets along the top. So that's the plan. Yeah, you can kind of see where the spots are figured out for the lights that need to come out. And there we go. It's the end of the week. Francis is done weed whacking the yard. Our silk tree is in bloom, and our fig tree actually has some figs on it. And in the garden, I've trimmed along the fence line because things were growing where they shouldn't be. But there was a lot of growth in the 3 weeks I was gone. Yowza. So zucchinis are going crazy, which is great. And I learned this week that when looking at my zucchinis, the leaves on these very long, wispy stems are boys, and plants always have way more male flowers than female flowers. And then female flowers, let's see, before they get pollinated, basically look like that one way down there. So this little pointy thing is the flower, which hasn't even opened yet, but it's got that little like almost pseudo zucchini at the bottom. So that's a girl. So when that flower opens, I don't want to eat that flower. But zucchini flowers are really, really tasty. And if I wanted to harvest some zucchini flowers, I'd want to take like that guy or this guy, and then you can stick them in salads and things, and they taste really good. So yeah, we have some little zucchinis popping up. We have a bigger zucchini, yeah, back in there. Whoops. Yeah, we have a bigger zucchini back in there. So these are the round zucchinis, and then over here we have our long zucchinis. These are the loofah squash, which I found out I actually need to like make them a trellis or something, because I guess they like to climb. The zucchinis just go wherever they want. And then over here, these I think are the melons. I'm pretty sure those are the cantaloupes. And these, I believe, are the butternut squash. And these are my kabocha. I don't know how to say that. Kabocha squash. The Japanese, like Portmorian things that I like to eat. We have some arugula. Most of the arugula didn't make it, but that's an arugula. And I think some of the other little wispy things are arugula. We have one beet. I planted a bunch of beets, but only one made it. A couple of carrots over there. And the nasturtiums are coming in. And yeah, we still have our strawberries. We have some flowers. So we'll start getting some more strawberries in here. And that's that. So, oh, and while we were all weeding, we actually found these two tomato plants are volunteer tomato plants. They were actually somewhere else in the garden that we are going to be like basically demolishing and cleaning up, like weeding out. So they definitely could not stay there. So I went ahead and pulled them up from where they were, and I transplanted them in the garden. So we'll see how they do. These, like I say, I have no idea what they are. Well, I mean, they're cherry tomatoes, obviously, but I did not plant them. They just popped up in the garden. So yeah, so they got transplanted there. The one aubergine that I bought is doing okay. We do have like these tomatoes are all ones that I planted from seed. So some of the tomatoes made it, but most of them didn't. These basils I also planted from seed, so they're kind of starting to come up. I have a pepper plant here that I also planted from seed. These ones I bought. Yeah, I don't know if I told you, but basically I did try to germinate my own seedlings this year, but unfortunately none of them made it. My first time actually trying to grow plants from seeds. But speaking of volunteers, while we were weed whacking, we found a volunteer sunflower. So Francis patiently weed whacked around it because it's pretty, and I thought we'd go ahead and keep it. And since nothing's happening up here, we don't have to like relocate it or anything. So it even has some like seeds starting on it. So that's kind of cool. Maybe next year I'll plant more of those. I've ordered the rest of this fancy fence. So we're gonna continue the fence up in there, and once that's done, we'll probably go ahead and think about picking up some more of these piquets that we've been using to keep the weed block down, and probably start fencing out the chicken area here, but we'll see. We now have a top priority to have all of the crap hauled away, because yeah, that almost destroyed the weed whacker several times. So we'll have somebody come and remove all of that. This whole area down here still needs some love because the weeds are crazy. But yeah, 3 weeks with some rain, and wow, everything springs to life, including the corn. Growing very fast.